Greetings, dear and very respected Mr. Lothar.
Thank you for inviting me, Leon. It's a great pleasure to be here today in Belgrade.
Welcome in Serbia and welcome on this YouTube channel Golden Age.
Wonderful name.
Yeah. Thank you for accepting to share your experiences, your extraordinary knowledge, and please make a little introduction, Lothar.
I'm from Germany and I'm running since 30 years the Maharishi Ayurveda Health Centre in Bad Ems. It's a very famous small spa town, and I'm also a teacher of Transcendental meditation. I'm president and founder of the Foundation for the Promotion of Vedic Culture, which is very active in Nepal, supporting 90 schools there. And I'm also director of the International Maharishi Ayurveda Foundation in the Netherlands, which is overseeing and coordinating all the activities of Maharishi Ayurveda around the world.
Very nice, very nice. You are very busy and very active man.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us what is Ayurveda?
Ayurveda means the science of life, and Ayurveda is the most ancient healthcare system of the world. It's a very complete healthcare system of the world, which is so much needed in the world today with the growing number of chronic diseases. And Ayurveda considers all the diseases as a result of imbalance. And the diseases, they manifest gradually in 6 stages. And modern medicine, which is very important and necessary, can detect diseases from the Ayurvedic point of view only when they have fully manifested at stage number 5. And in Ayurveda we have diagnostic tools, for example Nadi Vigyan, pulse reading, where we can detect already the 2nd, 3rd and 4th stage of the disease, of the imbalance, before it has fully manifested.
The treatment plan is individually set according to the personal requirements of the guest. Part of the extensive medical examination involves one very special technique.
Ayurvedic pulse diagnosis, as we're using it in Maharishi Ayurveda, comes from a family tradition. The remarkable thing is that it is not taught in India, even in the Ayurveda universities. What one can read in the pulse diagnosis are different levels within the pulse, each of which has its own story to tell, different organ systems. And if one can read all of this in combination, then it really helps one gain a lot of information about the health of the patient.
And when you diagnose the imbalance before they manifest, you can very easily treat them. Through change of diet, for some herbal preparation, through detoxification, through deep relaxation with transcendental meditation, through proper diet. There's so many things.
Everything that affects our organism directly influences the balance of Vata, Pitta and Kapha. In the different seasons of nature, certain doshas are predominant. During the summer months, it is the fiery, warming Pitta dosha. In the cold season, the airy, chilly Vata dosha. In the same way, the time of day is affected by the rhythms of the different doshas. For example, the metabolic forces of Pitta are dominant at noon. At this time, the digestion is strongest, which is why Ayurveda recommends the main meal of the day be taken at this time. Also, big cycles, such as the different phases of life, can be assigned to the dosha principle. This ancient knowledge promotes harmony of the doshas in every situation. Unfavorable influences can disturb this balance. Very windy weather or restlessness and stress can generate an imbalance of the Vata dosha. A person with a strong Vata constitution is very sensitive to such conditions.
And Ayurveda really has the potential if it's fully applied in society, if it becomes a inherent part of our healthcare systems, I think it's capable after some generations to even create a disease-free society. And I think Ayurveda will be in the future recognized as the most supremely developed system of healthcare from both points of view, prevention and cure.
The staff begin with the preparations. For each guest, individual herbal oils for the various massages are boiled up. Ayurvedic medicinal plants, herbs and minerals are put together in correct proportion, and the individual herb and spice preparations are prepared. Because the knowledge about the effects and the holistic combination of herbs and plants plays an important role in Ayurveda.
In India, we have 8,000 species of herbs, and among them 1,500 species are identified as medicinal plants. And in that, the most commonly used formulations are with 500 species medicinal plants. Maharishi Ayurveda is preparing several thousands of formulations according to different individual constitutions.
It deals with all aspects of life: mind, body, emotions, behavior, environment, and that which underlies and permeates everything, and that is pure consciousness.
The synchronized Abhyanga treatment is one of the most popular and beneficial purification and massage techniques. It is implemented strictly according to Ayurvedic specifications, just like the eye bath Netra Trapana. In a funnel made of chickpea flour, pure clarified butter relaxes the eyes and strengthens sight and the optical nerve. The pain therapy, Pinda Sveda, uses linen bags with special herbs and oils. Each guest discovers his or her personal favorite treatment.
Shirodhara was very impressive. The pouring of oil on the forehead, soft as velvet, becoming sort of heavy. I had the feeling that it was taking all the thoughts away. And then you're concentrating only on the breathing. You become completely still. It's very relaxing.
This knowledge is really needed. It's a knowledge of life, and many diseases come because of wrong lifestyle. They come because of stress and tension, and Ayurveda really is the complete knowledge which helps the quality of life to become better.
Ja, diese Klinik speziell haben mir halt Freunde empfohlen, die seit 40
Yes,
Jahren...
this clinic was recommended to me by friends who have known about Ayurveda for 40 years. I asked them, what can one do for detox? And they replied, when you do something, you should choose the best. So go to Bad Ems. Yes, that's really what they said. And then the oil massages began. And indeed, if I had not been lying down, I would have said that it bowled me over, because I have never before had such a real massage done on me. Very, very relaxing and very beneficial. The positive vibe from the doctors, therapists, indeed the whole staff is really impressive, I must say. Completely relaxed, positive and always in pleasant mood, and always very friendly.
In Ayurveda, what is the best advice for the best detox?
When we think of detox, we can consider mental detox and physiological detox. And a mental detox is very necessary because most diseases come because of psychosomatic problems, stress-related problems. And here I would strongly recommend to learn and practice Transcendental meditation, which is a very easy, effortless technique that can only be learned by a qualified teacher, which enables you to settle down the activity of the mind. The mind goes within and experiences a state of inner pure consciousness, unbounded awareness. And the physiological rest during Transcendental meditation, which is practiced twice a day, is about twice as deep as during the deep sleep.
Transcendental meditation is a very simple, natural and effortless mental technique of deep relaxation. The body gains a level of rest that is about twice as deep as in the deepest phase of sleep. This gives the nervous system an opportunity to dissolve deep-rooted stresses and strains. As a result, one has more energy during the day, one is fresher and more creative.
And at the same time we are fully alert. All the different parts of the brain, they become orderly, coherent, they work in synchrony. And when we come out of meditation, we have released many stresses, we feel more creative, more happy and more healthy. And there's a lot of scientific research about the benefits of transcendental meditation. For example, the biggest health insurance company in the United States, Blue Shield Blue Cross, they have in one state 500,000 members, out of which 2,000 are practicing transcendental meditation. And they were analyzing the costs of the meditators comparing to this very big control group. And they found that the healthcare utilization, the costs that were produced, were reduced by half. And the study went over 5 years, so it's a very significant study. For example, the cost for heart diseases alone went down by 87%, and the costs for treating cancer went down by 56%. So this is something that is needed in all the Western countries because the costs are exploding and we don't have a solution for so many chronic diseases. So the mental detox of transcendental meditation is a very important tool of Ayurveda.
Prevention of heart disease. The body needs cholesterol for a variety of vital physiological functions. However, too much of a particular damaging type of cholesterol is one of the main causes of heart problems. According to a study by the University of Freiburg, after 14 days of Ayurvedic treatment, the risk of heart disease caused by cholesterol fell by 17.8%. This clearly shows the great preventative value of Panchakarma therapy. Ayurveda, the knowledge of long life. A standard test of aging was given to a group of people who had been taking various Ayurvedic treatment programs over a period of 10 months, including 10 days of Panchakarma therapy. The result, biological age, was reduced by 4.8 years on the average.
With transcendental meditation, people get a technique so that they can experience systematically, daily, that field of inner bliss, inner happiness, inner stability, inner silence, to access this and develop it in their lives. Now, invincibility, it's not a military term. It means a state of coherence where everything is functioning in such a coherent way that no negativity can penetrate from outside and no negativity can spring from inside. This is what Maharishi means by invincibility. And so by practicing this technique, the first beneficiary is the person themselves. They are having a speedy development in the direction of spiritual development, enlightenment, but at the same time they are creating an effect also on the level of society.
Now when we consider the physiological detox, we call these toxins ama in Ayurveda, and ama means literally translated undigested food. So one or two very simple advices is that we eat only when we are hungry. So we take the next meal only when we have digested fully the previous meal. And the second thing that we can do is we can sip hot water. You know, the water should be boiled like for 15-20 minutes, and then the chemical structure is changing a little bit. All these long molecular chains of HO2, they get cut down and they want to bind themselves again, and they bind themselves to the toxins in the body. And just drinking like 2 liters or 1.5 liters, you put it in a thermos flask, and every half an hour you sip some hot water. But you don't do it just before the meal and not after. And if you do it for a week, you will feel much lighter and much better.
We get fresh organic food delivered 3 times a week. that is, dairy products, fruit, vegetables, and also dry foods such as pulses, rice, etc. The quality standards in our establishment are very high. Any goods that are not 100% right, we send them straight back. It is a very varied cuisine, and we use many spices that are not found in the normal European kitchen. And it is exciting to combine these and try and make something really good.
Food as a whole should be such that it tastes super delicious. This is extremely important. Secondly, the food should not flood the body with new toxins. The diet must therefore be light, tasty, and should support the purification process.
The second kind of toxins that we have to live with are the so-called fat-soluble toxins. In this category we have the pesticides, the herbicides, and the heavy metals. And those toxins, they have a half duration time of 25 years. That means the body would need 25 years to eliminate half of these toxins in a natural way. And since these toxins are increasing through the pollution of the air, the water, and our food, it is very important to eliminate them. And one traditional way in Ayurveda is called Panchakarma, that means 5 actions. And this is actually the main emphasis of my center in Germany, where we can release these environmental toxins.
The central element of a course of treatment in the Maharishi Ayurveda private clinic Bad Ems is Panchakarma. Using Ayurvedic health procedures that are thousands of years old, toxins in the body are dissolved and gently eliminated. What did Birgit Riepenhausen experience during her first Panchakarma treatment?
I am totally inspired. In the beginning, I really could not imagine how good it can be here. And this is a completely new discovery for me. And it is doing me so much good. I can really recommend it to others.
The clinic is situated in the east wing of Hecker's Grand Hotel, right on the banks of the River Lahn. In former times, this was the summer residence of Kaiser Wilhelm I. With the 4- and 5-star standard, guests can enjoy their treatment in the ambience of a luxury holiday. The Maharishi Ayurveda private clinic was founded in 1992 by Karin and Lothar Pirc. Since then, they have welcomed over 20,000 guests.
I
think we can take pride in saying that we are probably one of the foremost Ayurveda facilities in the Western world today. We have specialized in Panchakarma, the profound detoxification and regeneration program of Ayurveda. We are delighted to be able to offer this to our guests at a very high quality.
And the scientific study has been done. There were about 50 people who were going through Panchakarma treatment. And their blood test was taken before the treatment and after 12 days of treatment. And there was a control group that just had a change in diet, and they participated in some health education program. And the blood tests was also taken from them. And the university that was analyzing the blood looking for 10 environmental toxins, they had no idea what the people were doing. So it was a blind study. They were just asked to look for 10 environmental toxins. And the Panchakarma group, the one that did the Maharishi purification treatment, they had a reduction of 50% in average of all the 10 environmental toxins, whereas the control group had only a reduction of 1%. So this just indicates how efficient this treatment of Panchakarma is. But it takes, about 10 days, 2 weeks, and we can do it in our clinic in Bad Ems, Germany, and also in other places around the world. So this is a very sophisticated program to detox.
Dr. Karin Pirc is the principal doctor in Bad Ems. She has received top international honors for her work.
If we want to explain it very simply, then the effectiveness of Panchakarma lies in a 3-step process. I always explain it to my patients in this way too. The first step involves loosening up the environmental toxins, metabolic residues, which have lodged in the cells, especially in the fat tissue. This is done by means of massages and through herbs or oils taken internally, so that these toxins can be dislodged from the cells. The second step involves moving these toxins, which have now been loosened, and transporting them within the body to the organs of excretion. Through heat, steam baths, and warm local applications, the toxins go right to the intestines or out via the skin. And the third step involves eliminating these toxins from the body in a truly lasting way, so the purification that has taken place is still noticeable even after many, many months.
A Panchakarma treatment activates the body's self-healing powers and leads to a new balance. With the help of Ayurveda, many health disorders can be effectively treated, especially the diseases of modern civilization, even if these have already become chronic.
We have treated 30,000 people with chronic diseases. Many didn't get the help that they wanted from modern medicine, especially chronic diseases. Like many people come now with burnout or even with the post-COVID syndrome. Many people come diabetes, high blood pressure, migraine, nervous disorders, skin problems. We really can help them a lot. And besides Panchakarma, people are participating in lecture programs in the evening. They have the opportunity to learn Transcendental meditation. They also learn Maharishi Yoga Asanas, a very wonderful system for physiological, integration.
I had very little contact with yoga until now. I find that it really completes the experience here. The movements in yoga are done in a very smooth way. You achieve an inner quietness and calm. It really provides an extra layer of support to the treatments in order to arrive at an inner peace and balance.
Zur inneren Ruhe und Ausgeglichenheit zu finden.
Quietness and balance are promoted through an Ayurvedic relaxation technique.
We have aromatherapy, but all the treatments are based or prescribed on the basis of the individual diagnosis. So we have 3 Western doctors who have decades of experience with Ayurveda, and we have one very good traditional Vaidya, Ayurvedic expert from India, who comes from a family tradition that has focused on Nadi Vigyan. Nadi Vigyan is the pulse reading, where through the reading of the pulse you can detect the early stages of the disease. And then of course we have very sophisticated program of herbal products. And these herbal products, they are working different than modern medicine. They are not suppressing the symptoms, but they strengthen that part of the physiology which is weak. So it's a very comprehensive system, and everything is based on the individual needs.
Ayurveda recognizes a huge number of proven herbs, plants and minerals. These are recommended in different forms to be used along with the purification treatment. They serve to support the natural harmonious balance of all bodily functions. Different certificates guarantee their quality, purity and authenticity. The All India Ayurvedic Congress, India's largest organization of Ayurvedic doctors, certifies Maharishi Ayurveda to have the highest standards of quality. This puts the Ayurveda Health Centre in Bad Ems on the same level as India's best Ayurvedic facilities.
Health education also plays a very important part because everybody is a little bit different. We have a different constitution, different metabolic rate. And the diet, for example, should be adjusted to the constitution, it should be adjusted to the seasons, it should be adjusted to the time of the day. So there's a very beautiful knowledge program going along with it. Even Ayurvedic cooking is part of it, so that when the people can go home, they really can start with a very healthy lifestyle and implement and see that their life is improving.
For everything that you say, I can say when someone visits your clinic, it's a life-changing for them. Yeah?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why 70% of our clients come by word of mouth. But you see, we need these centers everywhere. We don't need them only in Germany, we need them in every country. And I think in Serbia we should also have such centers so that people can go there for prevention before it's too late.
Maharishi Ayurveda treatments are included in the Hooverland Register, a reference work for calculating the cost of natural medicine treatments for private health insurance schemes. Doctors from other medical fields are also happy to cooperate with the Ayurveda Centre. Prevention, rejuvenation, revitalization and healing. This is what people have expected from Ayurveda since time immemorial. A task which is carried out with pleasure and affection in Bad Ems. Eastern wisdom and the highest standards of Western doctors come together here.
In addition, our status as a state-recognized private medical institution confirms our competence and high-class standards, for instance in the areas of hygiene or medical care. Day and night, one of the doctors is available. At the start of treatment, there is always a doctor's diagnosis, which lasts about 1 hour. Before leaving, there is a further consultation for about an hour, during which Ayurvedic recommendations for use at home are given.
Ayurvedic knowledge is universal. It takes into consideration the laws of the whole of nature, everywhere in the world. When Ayurveda is carried out authentically and with great care, it unfolds its usefulness beyond time and borders. In this current time of stress and chronic illness, the Maharishi Ayurveda Health Centre in Bad Ems, in Germany, strives to be a place for perfect health. An example of how the ancient knowledge of the Ayurvedic masters can also be applied in our time to help us enjoy a healthy, long life guided by our own self-awareness.